Right.
Behind the scenes there.
Right.
What's going on, guys? Where's Oprah? She's coming. Her entourage is on their way there. She's coming from her island there. What's going on, guys? It's good to see all of you. We've got some new guys. Every week we get we're getting a lot of new viewers, which is cool. That's really awesome. Adam, get back to work, dude. You're watching the live stream over here, dude.
All right.
Just kidding.
What is going on? It's actually good to know for the people here to watch live shows as well, so to get an update. Sometimes we don't really know what we're gonna update until we have the live shows. A lot of our supporter and our dealers and distributor ask us about update as well, and sometimes you don't remember what you're gonna say, and you don't remember what's going on until you actually being asked or put in front of a camera, and then say, okay, yeah, you have stuff to spit out.
Exactly. So I mean, we don't have weekly meetings here either. So sometimes we
stand-up meeting, hallway meeting.
Yeah, hallway meeting, or hey, can I tell you something type of meeting, or email stuff, and all of our offices are right next to each other. So instead of yelling, sometimes KT just sends an email, or
we'll talk over the wall sometimes.
We'll talk through the wall, or we'll pass each other, and the thing like, hey, I did this. So oh, okay. So this is a good time for us to update not just you guys, but all of our staff here too, and then our dealers and distributors and stuff as well. So episode 52, you guys saw the title, Oprah Winfrey Gun Auctions today. We got 3 gun auctions today. I put Oprah Winfrey Gun Auction because I felt like that episode where she's like, you get a gun, you get a gun, you get a gun. I feel like that right now. So we're going to do 3 gun auctions today. We've been doing a lot of videos over the past couple days, and we've been getting a lot of great feedback. A lot of people messaging me personally, a lot of people calling in, and a lot of people...
That's how you sell markers.
That's how you sell markers. A lot of people don't know that, don't really know my real name, but they recognize me from the videos, MCS Red. So I've been getting a lot of people calling and being like, yeah, I saw this video of this redheaded guy, and I really like that marker. How do I get that marker? And I'd be like, hey, I'm actually that guy. And they'd be like, no way, you're MCS Red. So it's been really cool, being able to talk to people about that don't actually know my real name. And there's actually the other side of the people where they're like, hey, wait a minute, your name's John. I got your email. Your name's Jonathan Worrell. You're not MCS Red, are you? And I go, yeah. And they're like, oh man, so it's really cool, and I appreciate all the support that you guys that you give me personally, and then not only just us here at MCS too. So
thank you guys.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. So let's get into the auctions first, so we can get that started. Since we're a little behind today,
right?
Dude, are you going to shoot Oprah? I didn't tag. I was going to tag Oprah Winfrey in this, but then I don't need her publicist being like, hey, she didn't endorse this show. I'd be like, well, too bad. So what's up, Tim? How's it going? Tim Hanley over at EMR Paintball Park. Good to hear from you, buddy. Good to have you on the show. So you guys saw the video that me and KT did. Was that was like 2 weeks ago, right? Or was it when we got back from SHOT Show? Or before?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago, we did the Magpul Edition bolts.
Mm-hmm.
These things are freaking sweet, man. We did the video yesterday too 2 days ago on the Blizzard Savage, and I honestly, if you guys have not, if your field is not doing MagFed rentals, they need to be doing something like this.
Right.
This type of marker, this type of setup, the Blizzard Savage, the tactical versions of both the Bolt and the Blizzard, those are great entry-level rental platforms. Super easy to maintain, super easy to function, to operate. They're extremely lightweight, and it allows the users to actually use something that is not their standard run-of-the-mill,
right?
It
looks cool.
FT12 or Tippet 98. You know what I'm saying? So these types of things are inexpensive. Obviously, the most expensive stuff would be the PTS or Magpul accessories, but you don't always have to have something like this. We have plenty of options that you guys can build your rental fleets up on, and even get your local field owners to convert some of their Tippet 98s if they're using them, or A5s, or even some of their FT12s. Just need miscellaneous parts, but we can help with that too. Hey, Callista, how you doing? And you get that rear air option. Like this is something I can give a brand new MagFed player and they'd be like, oh, this is cool. Like,
right.
I really like using something like this. So we got 3 guns for auction. this is the carbine version. This is the smallest version. Then we have the mid right here, which will have the carry handle as well, and then you can have the remote line adapter. Or do you want to do remote line adapter? Or do you want to do the side?
They can have the choice, yes.
Okay.
When you auction it off, and you auction for the remote line version, and if you want the air tank, you just let us know. We can upgrade for you for like $50, and you just pay for a tank. That's what we do, because the tanks we actually buy these tanks from Ninja. So if you want them, we just add them in for you at a discount, $50 for a tank. And you know the tank normally go for $64. So you're getting a deal when you want to upgrade.
Add it to the marker. That's right.
So this is the
carbine version.
Carbine version.
This is the mid.
Mid.
So this is a 7-inch, 9-inch, and then you have a 13 right here.
13. So like Jonathan was saying that with this series, it's built for different size persons. So you have a longer torso, limb, or bigger person can actually get the the Ranger version, the 13-inch version. And a smaller person, this compact version is actually better for it. So a fleet like this would be great for rental.
A lot of times when we see our ambassadors and stuff like that, when they ask me about rental fleets, one of the biggest things is, well, it's just a basic Bolt or basic Blizzard, and they go, yeah, but you have the opportunity to build it up hundreds of different ways, and that's really how you capture these new players. I've talked about this probably over 1,000 times on the show, but I'm starting to finally get the compensation of sort, the feedback that's like, you know what, Jonathan, you were right. Every single time I put a custom marker in my rental fleet, they're gone in a second.
Right.
And these new players, they want to see that stuff, because even the biggest thing that we have here too, I mean, we get calls every single day. What can I do to this marker? Even though we've put out a bunch of videos on all these custom configurations, the Unicus guns, all that stuff, the imagination gets cut off somehow.
Right.
And that's something that we like to offer, and that's kind of one of the things that we pride ourselves on here at MCS is the variety. Yes, they're all the same basic foundation, but the way that they look, their accessories, their components, give it its own personality, and that's what each one of you guys like to do with your own markers. So we've seen a lot of awesome markers over the time that I've worked here, especially, but I'm sure KT, you've seen them since he started this whole thing, and as they've progressed, there's a lot of you guys that have been really creative with your builds and your paint jobs and all of that stuff, which is really cool. And that's kind of one thing that new players, they want to see that. They want to see customization. Speedball guns don't really have that. The only thing you can really get is a really custom paint job, and that's it. But you all have the same gun. So with the MagFed gun, with these particular platforms, let's say you put these on a rental fleet, or you win them today in the auction, and you don't want to use this PTS handguard anymore, but you want to put AR spec stuff, you can do that.
Yeah,
that is definitely a possibility.
You just pull this Delta Ring, the handguard just come right out. It's a little bit less tension than the real AR, but you can actually pull the Delta Ring off, pull the handguard up and lower, just come right out. Ryan asked earlier about Zero Hour. We're gonna have some stuff out there, Ryan. I don't know when we bring. It's like 2-3 months away. We don't know what we bring out there yet. So if you want something that you would like to bring out there, let us know. Just message us, and then we'll make it a point to bring out there for you.
So we'll start the auction off $100, and we'll have 1, 2, and 3. So 1 being the carbine version, then we have 2 being the mid-length version, and then of course 3 the 13-inch version. So
one last thing, just to remind you, the air kind of come with that. It's a remote line version, okay? And then if you want an air tank, it's $50 if you want to buy the air tank to include with the marker. Of course, we'll switch out for you the tank, the buttstock, and the guide. So you can choose the guide route that you want. You want the one undermount version, the universal version, or and the buttstock too. There are 4 different buttstock: SCA, DMA, TCA, and the MTA buttstock. You let us know which one, and we'll get the right version for you.
All right, so we'll keep that auction going on. Let's talk about what we got coming up. We got Paintball Extravaganza.
That's about 10 days away.
10 days away. KT's headed there. We're gonna have some cool stuff. I think
stop there. Paintball Extravaganza. If you guys want to come out there, let me know. If you want to help me run the booth on the shooting competition, let me know.
You guys really not hear KT? People say they can't hear you.
They can't hear me? Okay. All right, man. I gotta turn on my volume here. So we're saying that for Extravaganza, you guys are coming out there. Let me know. I can get you guys in. If you want to help me run the booth there for the shooting competition, let me know too. So
I know Corey Yates and James Davis are going to be there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they want to help you out, so they'll be helping you out there. Oh man, I wanted to say something here. There was somebody that asked me the other day about the Vortex Reacher.
Okay.
And it was about 20-inch barrel.
Right.
And I think it had something to do with the comparison testing between 16 to a 20-inch.
Right.
Which we did show in the video that you did.
Right.
The differences between the 18 to the 20. Now, 16 to the 20...
we did that on the Hammer 7. We didn't do it on
that's right.
The Vortex between the 16 and the 20. So I would say you're probably going to get the same result if you would shoot a 4, just like the Hammer 7. Velocity going to be increased when you use a longer barrel. Just not so much, but slightly. We get about 10, 15 feet per second faster. So that's not too bad.
Let's see here. I'm sure there's someone that's going to ask about the shape projectile, so might as well get that over with.
Shape projectile, I'm getting a batch this coming week. I'm hoping it to test the next version, the corrected version Friday. Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I have 2 more days. The corrected version, they're gonna redo the tail. The tail was talking about that. The last time we were testing it, they made the tail a little bit too big, and it was hitting the barrel, wasn't shooting out very well. So we are going to we made the adjustment on the mold and made the tail slightly smaller, the same diameter as the front. The dome is 0.683. We want to make the tail the same size, 0.683. The first initial sample that we did the mold, it came out to 0.690, so it's bigger than the front. So when we shoot out, especially from our barrel 687, it's 686, so the tail is actually hitting the barrel, and we're not getting good results. But we are getting the sample this week, and we're gonna shoot it this next couple of days, and we'll let you guys know how it flies. And if it flies well, we're gonna push it out, and then next thing you know, we'll able to send more of these rounds out to ambassadors, to certain fields that are gonna be able to support MFW, and they can have a chance to test them out to see if it's good enough for them, so that they can have them in stock for you guys when you go and play.
That's you, Tim, over at EMR.
All right, Tim.
Yeah, Tim, I dropped a first strike on the ground, so there goes 40 cents.
Right.
But yeah, definitely, we're really excited about it. We need to get that under control as far as the tail, and then once we dial that in, then they'll be pretty much ready to go. So, and like I said, guys, we're gonna do a lot of media on these, so you guys will have plenty of information. They'll probably answer all of your questions within those videos. I'm sure there'll still be a question that's someone thinks they're scientists. The scientists, we'll just say that. But we're super excited about that. Tornado it's in the mold stage right now.
Right.
So
we're hoping to about maybe another in sometime in March we're able to test more of the Tornado. We have the prototype version we've been shooting. We're shooting okay. Now we have to make the mold for it. The mold is made out of aluminum alloy, cast aluminum, of course. And we'll cast it, and then we'll test it, and if it goes good, and then we'll start to you guys can order it at that point once the mold is settled on how it fits and how it's functioned, and we can start. You guys want to pre-order them? We'll let you pre-order them, and that will, like I said, that will actually grow our MFW a little bit, because there's a lot of excellent classic out there. I know there's the last time I checked on one of my body, the serial number over 1 million. So we're definitely gonna able to get more MagFed player out to the field because of that kit. Not to mention it would build markers off of the AK-12 series. That's another option for players, especially not an M4 based model, because we have enough of that already.
Chris Kelly, I haven't had a lot of time to do the ambassador program. As far as there's a couple people that I have to get up, and I know that you're one of them, so I will get back on that. We've just been really busy here with the traveling and all that, and the stuff that I have working on here. One thing I wanted to bring up, and he's not even talking that low. I don't understand. This is something I just talk too much. That's all. So I had my voice just projects into your ear canal there.
All right, guys. I'm gonna turn my volume up a little bit more. How's that? All right. By the time I'm done the show, I need some.
You need a hearing aid. Check his hearing, actually.
Right.
Hydra, guys.
Yeah, Larry was asking about the ambassador program. So you go to the ambassador section of the site. You go to resources, and then there's ambassador link. Just click on that. There's a couple questions. You basically ask you how you're gonna able to grow the sport. What do you have already? And then so with that information, we're able to assess what we can do for you. And then from there, we can see how we're gonna work together and help you guys grow the sport, grow MagFed, particularly in your area.
Right. Like in the ambassador program, guys, is for anyone. It's not about creating fanboys and all this other baloney that
or fangirls,
or fangirls that you hear on the freaking internet. This is for anyone. Even if you don't use our markers or our products, you can shoot all T15s or milsigs. It doesn't matter.
Right.
We just want to help people be successful in growing MagFed in their community.
Right.
A lot of players, a lot of you guys, all of you guys that watch this show every single week. Chris Kelly, Timothy Brooks, Dusty Hatfield, Stan Dillard, Nightmare PB, all of you guys, Callista, everyone in this thing. It's all of you guys.
And there's
always doing something.
We name almost everybody in the Midwest and East Coast. There is on the East Coast we
Gabriel
have
Casellas.
Right.
Are you talking about Rob Zeno and all that?
No, that's West Coast. We have the MagFed Legion.
Yep.
We have the NorCal Maniacs. We have shooters. Where's this guy? The guy down south.
Gabriel Casillas, Central
James
Valley
Davis,
James Davis, SAS.
No, not that. They're doing what's this group? James Davis. He's doing the game kits every other Sunday.
Oh. John Miles. You know what we're talking about. What's his name down there? It's James Davis's group.
Yeah, he does Grim all the time, and
gosh darn it. That's embarrassing. Callista, you know him too. What's James Davis's team?
Group
down there.
That promote the games.
Come on. Come on! It's right there at the top of my head. Someone help me. John Miles or Callista. What's James Davis's group called?
We need a support line. A second
phone
line.
A friend.
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend right now.
A friend.
All right, you guys know what we're talking about. Anyway, those guys down there, Gabriel Casillas, not ODSC. No, not Magic Mike.
Yes, ODSC. We forgot about
ODSC,
ODNC,
ODIL, all those guys.
Right.
No, but James Davis's group. It's gosh darn it, what is it called?
Something. Yeah, we're down there all the time, and they the PB the Cave Nation. They're tent next to ours. Anyway, well, it'll come up when it comes up, guys. So
I'm looking at it right. It's bothering me.
So the point is, there are a lot of ambassadors, MagFed ambassadors that we support, and they also support us. They have loaner that we provided. Some don't, but the point is that we're not looking for you guys to shoot our markers. You can shoot any markers, but we do offer that support system, so that way if you need a a loaner fleet, we're able to help you guys with that, so you can grow the sport in that area. If you Respawn, there you go. Yeah,
Respawn Productions. There we go.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Gosh darn it! I was on his Facebook page and I'm like, dude, I know you post stuff about this. How did I not see this?
Right.
Thank you, Calista. Thank you, John Miles. That was it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We lost our brain cell.
Yeah. I just spoke to him too. So SAS guys too. I mean, there's a lot of people. Central California SAS is Patrick Devion guys,
right.
or him and his guys. I mean, there's a lot of people right now that are on the forefront, the foundation of MagFed in a lot of communities.
Right.
And we have to keep building. Every year we have to keep doing more and more, because we can't be complacent. We're not at a point in this community, anywhere in the world, where we can be complacent. This year is going to be a good year for MagFed with, like I said, not just the shape projectiles,
right.
which we know is going to grow the community 5-10-fold, hopefully. But it's also going to get more people playing. It's going to bring more people. It's going to attract more players to this side of the game. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in your community and at your local fields, it's never going to work. Tim Henley and what he's doing over at EMR Paintball Park. I mean, I spoke to him yesterday or the other day.
He's ready to set up.
I mean, this guy, what he's doing at his park is probably one of the coolest fields I've ever seen. Not just for MagFed, but just paintball in general. But he's raising the bar every year, and that's really what you have to do, not just as a field owner, but even as a promoter and things like that. You can't be complacent. Even if you think 50 players is good enough, and that's fun. What about 150 players? How much more fun would that be to get 150 players every single time you throw an event? That's kind of where we're looking right now. MagFed only games, we got Kilo 69.
Right.
What else we got? Dominion.
0 Hour.
0 Hour. Those MagFed games, those are premier MagFed games that are well known now all around the world. People are traveling to play these games. That's what we really need to have. We need to be at a point where there's one of those games going on every single month at some point in the U.S., if not in the U.K., Canada, etc., because those are the games where people are going to start getting excited. They're going to start saving up their money. They're going to start saving vacation time and all that to go play these games. And that's where we're going to be able to transition into competitive MagFed paintball, tactical combat games, whatever we want to call it. We're going to be able to do that. There's a lot of people right now that are doing things like that. Nightmare PB participates up in Canada at their MagFed challenge type of competitive ball. Alfred Baird and Unit 9 guys are doing a 2v2 fire team thing. Those are really, really awesome things, and those are really what's going to kind of make or break and allow for that transition. There's still a lot of ways and probably a lot of debate between a lot of these field owners and the community of how these games should be run, but I mean, definitely the way that these events are thrown, and the Andre just said it right there, quality over quantity. Exactly. I mean, we're at the point. Andre, you know what you guys are doing over there. Can't speak for everybody, but that's exactly right. The quality of your game is really what speaks volumes, and you need to be able to wow these participants, because you are going to have new players there, and if they don't leave the field wanting to come back and try it again, you didn't do your job, and that's kind of what we need to focus on this year. And I think with the shape projectile, with a lot of the new markers that are going to be hitting the market here, not just from us, but even First Strike and the products that they're working on, the FSC, etc. That's really going to start bringing in a lot of new players, and hopefully they stick around. Hopefully that's something that they're going to invest their money in. So, let's see here. Yeah, Snake Eater, John Miles is another one too. I forgot.
Bruce mentioned earlier they're definitely gonna have a competition of MagFed, right? So you have players doing some sort of 5-on-5 competition or 3-on-3 in maybe a kill house or some sort of conic system, able to eliminate players and actually winning some major prize. That's one of my thing to do. My dream is to set one of those leak up allow players to actually compete for real prize. I'm talking about $100, even $1 million worth in prize. I'm talking cash prize, sponsor, whichever. Get more outside industry and outside industry to support it, and it's actually going to change a team's life. So in other words, if you are the top winning teams, you spend all your time, 8 hours a day. That's your job, is to train so you can win again. Not like you become an athlete, a real one.
If you can win $800,000 freaking bass fishing,
right?
We should be able to play freaking Magpul
yes.
and win even $500,000.
Right.
Okay, you can get sponsored by Walmart and bass fishing
right.
and NASCAR and all these other freaking things, but
right.
you need there should be that in our community. There
right.
should be something like that. Right now, what I see personally is there's a lot of self-proclamation. I'm the best MagFed player, and we're the best MagFed team in this state, and blah blah blah. But how are you gauging that? I mean, what competition have you won that has put you the top of anything? That's kind of the drawback that I'm
right.
seeing right now. Like there is no such thing as the best of MagFed, because there's no way to gauge it. It's based on there's no system in which you can proclaim yourself that title without any evidence behind it. So auction guys today, just to touch on it, we're auctioning off 3 markers. So it's the Bolt Magpul series. This is going to have a carry handle.
All right.
But you have
it's kind of
the carbine version. It comes with a remote line, but if you want the tank, you can upgrade that for an additional $50. This is the carbine version, 7-inch handguard. This is the 9-inch version, and then we have a 13-inch version.
Ranger version. So this is the carbine version, the assault, and this is the Ranger.
So if you're going to bid, make sure you bid on the number. So you have 1 is the small one, 2 is the mid-length, and 3 is the longer one. So make sure you put your bid and then the number that you're bidding on. Yeah, I see a lot of just numbers here. So make sure you guys do that.
The top bidder get to choose which one you want. Yeah. So first on that.
Other than that, there was one thing that I wanted to touch on. The PPQ pistol. A lot of people have been asking me, because I mentioned it not too long ago on the show, that I was experimenting with ways to lower the velocity. We found a way to do that. The problem is your efficiency kind of goes out the window. So being that it's not a product that we actually make, it's a product that we distribute, I didn't want to take too much more time on it.
We're running out of time, actually.
Yeah.
It can be done, we just haven't got the time to actually work on it a little bit more. Jonathan tests different springs, I test a different valve pin, and it's working for what we need to do, but it's not something that you guys can do. And if we're gonna do it, we're gonna release something that for you guys is something that has to be repeatable. Repeatability at the same time, it has to be doable for you guys, not just something we have a lathe machine here and we would cut it. No, you gotta be able to do with something like a file or maybe a hacksaw or something like that, something real simple that you can do. And we're working on that, a simple mod that you can work on.
So,
oh, by the way, the colors, you can actually choose the color too. So we have 3 different colors. You have black, tan, and blue. And OD. So if you are the winner, you can actually choose the color you want. So the different length of the rifle and the different color that you can choose. All right. So good call, Dusty. He was saying he loved the green, but we didn't mention about the colors.
Rashid Dialobo, we are expecting the shotguns hopefully soon.
What version are you looking for?
We got a zombie hunter in today. So if you're looking for a zombie hunter, we have one. But the other 2 versions, we do have an enforcer, the police version, but we do not have any tacticals right now.
Tactical probably about very early next week, but we do have it.
All right. So, I know, Nightmare. I know you want one. One thing that, like I said, I want to finish saying about the PPQ. If your field allows them, there's been a lot of animosity behind people who have PPQs. There's been a lot of things said that I think was a little out of bounds. But there's a lot of animosity in general. If you have a PPQ and your fields allow them and you can use them, just use them. I mean, don't be. There's been a lot of stuff, like a lot of people engaging in arguments and things like that on the internet, especially in the PPQ owners group. Just use the product. We have not received one phone call or email or anything from players, field owners, or anyone regarding safety concerns or issues of that product. Everyone that I know has been using them responsibly. They do chrono their 43 cal pistol, and it's been working very well for us, not just here, but for all of the people who own them. I haven't heard any issues from them. So just keep that in mind if you see this kind of stuff that's going around on the internet regarding those products. Like I said, we have received zero concerning issues, complaints, or safety concerns or problems with that product, and that's either from the end user themselves or even from Umarex. So right. I would not fall into any of that stuff that you may see, but just keep that in mind. Don't get into that animosity right. there. But overall, I think it's a cool product. It's a great secondary. I mean, it's not going to be for everybody. The price point is better than you can do in any of the other markers in its class, but you got to make your own choice. And right. that's like you said, if you guys can use it and that's the product that you want to go with, then use it. And we appreciate the feedback, if any. So, Tim, it's on the fresh 12 gram, it's a 43 cal pistol first off, but it is a little high. I've got 350 here, but we've had people say they got like 380, but it depends. I've never got one. I've never got it.
The highest we got like 150.
No, 350.
350. Yeah, it was 350.
That was the highest I've ever got, but right. I only am using our 12 grams here. Right. But if you dry fire it about 5 to 8 times, it will go down below the 280 and it will stay there for the remainder of the mags. And we're getting about, on the video that I did for magazines, we got 7.5 before it would not cycle back. So that's 5 to 8 shots. That's one magazine. So you still have 6 good mags for a secondary platform. So
that's what we've been talking about. It's if you want to just drop down velocity and stick below, when you put a brand new 12 gram in it, shoot a couple times, load it, go chrono it, it's good, and then you go and play. And that's how you manage it will never go up higher. Velocity on CO2, when you first pop a clean one open, of course you have all that pressure trying to get out. Once it got out, the first 5-10 shots, boom, it stays below the 300 range, and it's totally safe to use. So,
and like I said, there's not a ASTM standard for how a marker is adjusted. It doesn't matter if it has a finger adjuster, if it uses a tool, if it has requires takedown and swap of springs. It does not matter. There's no standard that shows or is a mandatory standard or way to drop down velocity. Unfortunately, the way you drop down velocity on the PPQ is by dry firing it. That is how you adjust the velocity.
For now,
until we can figure out a better way to make without affecting certain other issues of the pistol. That's just how it is right now. So if your field is okay with you using it and you chrono that marker and it fires and you're at that field velocity and that's what you're using as that secondary platform, then use it. I mean, that's the only permission that you need to get is from the field owner, not from anybody else, not from whatever you may think. It's from the field owner. So keep that in mind. And if you're
show the field owner,
exactly.
Yeah. Show them how it works, how it functions, how it performs. And believe me, we went to quite a few fields, and every field owner we showed to, no problem at all. Why? Because a couple things going on. Number one, they love the way that the pistol feels, the way it functions, and that also added to the fact that now they can draw more new players coming into the field. with kids, they've been playing video games for a long time. They want realistic looking product. They don't want anything that's not in that RAM. So they love that. So they know they can, if they have that as able to let the kids use those products, that will translate to more players getting the feel.
Exactly. They're cool. I mean, every event that we've taken them to since they've been out, since we started carrying them, everyone's like, "Well, what is that?
Right.
Or what does that do?
Right.
Wait, that's a paintball pistol. That's 43 cal paintball pistol." And then the misconception is, the misconception is obviously, oh well, it's 43 cal.
And it's a secondary,
secondary,
it's a secondary.
These are not. We're not competing with the Tipex here and all that. Patrick sending me photos. Patrick, that's awesome, man. I mean, there's nothing scientifically. A 43 cal impact in the same velocity as a 68 caliber at field legal limit. It's 3 times less than that. But ASTM standard does go by FPS, so you do have to chrono these markers. If you're chronoing them and you pass chrono, then you can use that pistol. Most of the scenarios that I've seen players utilize this platform is they have 2 or 3 extra mags, and they chrono every mag. They chrono every mag and they go on the field.
Right.
And that's it. Most people are not even using this pistol in the game.
Right.
This is a secondary.
And when do you change the CO2 in the middle of the game anyway?
I don't know. Secondary. I don't know.
And more to that, each magazine, each CO2 can go up to about 6-7 mags. So you probably not need to change it for a while.
Exactly.
So. Anyway, that's a story on the PPQ.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about that because, like I said, there's been a lot of animosity, but we've sold a lot of those PPQs, a lot, and we're continuing to sell them. And like I said, we would be transparent with all of you guys. We have been with every single product since we started the show. That was the main reason why we've done this. If there was a product that was unsafe or had a lot of complaints, we would not be selling that product, especially because we don't make those things. Like
we used to sell the APS stuff, the .43 caliber pistol and rifle. We still have them, but we don't sell them because we know that we can't support them. They're not up to snuff, and that's why we kind of stopped carrying them. You guys need help with repair and service, we still can support you, but as far as supplying them, we don't do that.
Yeah. I got to give a shout out too to Doug Logan over at Ghost Kydex. Man, he's making some sick holsters for the PPQ. Joseph Rojas got one. There's been a couple guys. I know some guys in MagFed Florida got some. Those things are sweet, man. They look like Safari Land and right off standard type of stuff, and that's really cool.
That's what we need in this industry too. We have these guys making awesome upgrades for it. I love that.
Zachary Kusa, Hydra Mag, that's pretty much done. We're waiting to get these other projects out first, but hopefully by the end of this year we may have a solid prototype at that time.
So right now the next product coming up pretty solid is the Tornado. We're looking at about March, April time to have that out, and then for Shape Projectile we just cranking along. As soon as we have a stable version, we have to push the button and start getting those out. So you guys that late to the auction, let's go over that quickly so that way you guys know what you were talking about in the auction stuff. So we auctioned 3 markers, guys. So we're doing 3 versions. This is the carbine version. You can choose different color handguard and buttstock too. So you have the tan, OD, and black. So this is the carbine version. This is the mid-length assault version. It's the handguard is 9 inches long, and then you have the longer version. This is for the big boys. This is the 13 inches handguard, and this is the Ranger version. Again, each unit comes with the standard remote line and buttstock. You can upgrade to this tank buttstock for $50. Basically, you just buy the tank, and then you can choose any of the buttstock we have, the MTA, TCA, DMA, and SCA buttstock. And again, you can choose different color handguard and magazine that comes with the marker. So the 3 different marker, 1, 2, 3. 1 with the carbine, 2 is the mid-length, the assault version, and 3 is the Ranger. So you guys can decide which one you want.
All right, so we are at, oh man, it's already 5:30. Okay, we will go 10 more minutes till 5:40, and that's our time.
Right.
If you're going to bid on a marker, check out where we're at now with the bids. Make sure you put your bid and then the number of the marker of the model that you want. So the carbine, the shortest one is 1, the mid-length is 2, and then the long one is 3. And then when whoever gets the highest bid, I'll ask you what color magazines, and then of course the shroud and that you want. And if you want to add the tank in stock. Some of the cool stuff that we've seen so far, that 4500 PSI mil-spec buffer tube tank, essentially, by Polar Star. Now, Polar Star is the spear in the airsoft world right now that has Ben is the inventor, the guy who started that all. He's a really awesome guy. He was at Extravaganza. He was in the booth next to us last year. He actually showed us that product before it finally just released. And airsofters right now really like the HPA aspect of the marker, or I'm sorry, not the system, for the fact that they can get a lot more shots, a lot more consistent shots, reliability, etc. in their guns, which is where they're headed. Now, a lot of people are under the impression that this is the moon. Like, this is like the first time we walked in the moon. 4500 a tank, and this is a 3 cubic inch, I believe. You're going to get about, if you're using that on a blowback system, you're probably going to get about 25 shots out of it at 280 FPS. Right. But if you are using on a blow forward system, I would expect that to be a lot better. Anywhere from 30 to maybe 36, you think?
I think you get a little bit more. He did a test using Tip 98. It's probably not most efficient system out there. I think if you use it on like a PTR or 468, you probably do maybe double that, maybe 60 shots. But again, a system like that, I think it's not ready yet. It's good for, because it doesn't have the dot stamp. Everybody knows it doesn't have the dot stamp on it. It's kind of like an air gun system. Think of like an air gun. So if you go buy an air gun, a PCP air gun, you have to fill yourself, right? So you use a little pump, you pump at home for yourself, or you get a scuba dive. It's a personal use. You don't take it to the field. You take it to the field, they won't fill it. You know that. Any field or any store that fill air tank up, even us, right? We would not fill an air tank without a dot stamp on it, because we know that the dot stamp is made so that way you can transport it. So if it has a dot stamp, which means that you're going to fill it, knowing that person's going to fill and then go and transport that, you can't fill it. That's why we always have to check for the hydro date before we can fill the tank. So the current version that they're releasing is just think of like an air gun version, not for I don't think it's ready for paintball, but airsoft, perhaps they have some way around there. Or someone say you go to a field, you carry your big old scuba dive tank, and you refill yourself, and I think you can get around the system. Yeah. However, like I said, I don't think that can be used on any semi-automatic system. I think most of them can be used, say, for a sniper system, a SAR 12 or CCM, or SSR, or for DMR and bolt action system. Because you're not going to shoot that much anyway. You can shoot maybe about 2 mags, 3 the most, 2 mags on the average. So that's where I think the tanks shine right now.
Exactly, Tim. That should be their motto for that. Save tanks, saves limbs. Right. There we go. That's perfect. Stan Dillard, shoot me an email, and I'll talk to you tomorrow about the UMP thing. I saw that earlier. I meant to say something. But, I mean, overall, it's an awesome idea. I think a mil-spec buffer tube tank, like, that's awesome. And, you know, we talked about it before I was at SHOT Show, right? And, you know, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about making tanks. I mean,
we do have, if you guys look at our site, there's a 60 gram and a 12 gram dual Buffer tube tank,
yeah.
R-tube that we have. That's been going on for a long time. Look into that. It's similar idea, but Polar taken to a whole new level, able to put the compressed air into it. There is a version coming out, a couple companies working on a carbon fiber version, 4,500 psi, same diameter as the 13 CI, a little bit longer than 13 CI. You're probably going to get about 250 shots per tank. I'm waiting for that to come out. A little bit expensive though, going to run about about $160, 150. Average about $160 per tank. So if you're looking to something like that from a higher capacity, check that out. You don't mind the weight, get the 17 CI tank that we have on the site. They run like $99. You can get a good solid 200 shots per tank on a 468, and maybe 150, 120 on the Blizzard and other markers. So something to have to look at. But there are options available, or not. Just use remote line, you'll be fine.
Overall, I mean, there's some. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, like I said, a lot of the stuff that we saw at SHOT Show. A lot of companies, including Tippmann, have really dipped headfirst into airsoft.
Right.
They have.
It's a bigger market. It's a bigger market, and it's already into something they already do. I mean, they've done. They do firearms, so paintball. It's a little bit different. Is that the final? Is that end?
No. It's on the not yet.
Okay.
The end.
So how much time we have left?
We have 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Okay.
So. I mean that's kind of, it just kind of shows, guys. I mean, like I said, I've said this before. MagFed is about 3 years behind Airsoft. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's been out for a long time that I put on Unicus guns that people were like, oh, I've never seen this before, and that's because
we're talking about player participant. Or
yeah.
You're talking about, okay.
No. I'm talking about just everything as far as like the look, the futurism of. Where AGs and Airsoft are
I think more than 3 years.
Possibly, yeah.
I think we're a little bit way more far in that.
But
variety-wise, I mean, almost every firearms, there's a counterpart on Airsoft. With paintball, you have like half a dozen. That's it. So it's an M4, M16, or something of that nature. So I think paintball is really far from Airsoft and what those guys are doing to grow.
Well, you see it a lot with, not just the guns platform, the AEG's platform,
right.
but you see it in the accessories. Like,
right.
A lot of people are under this impression that there's Airsoft accessories and there's paintball accessories. Well, it's really, unless it says it's for an Airsoft gun specifically, that's really the only difference. I mean, the same scope that's going to go on an Airsoft gun, that's Airsoft quality, is paintball quality. Right. Those things are all compatible. They're all cross compatible with each other.
Another thing about Airsoft too, though, I mean, the industry themselves, they're a little more connected. They're more supportive, like the field support, the store support, the field manufacturer support, the supplier, manufacturer support of the distributor. They're a little more network connected. Paintball is not. I mean, players, it's on their own, teams on their own, manufacturer own, fields on their own, and store on their own. I don't know why, but it should be like a little more network support each other. Fields need store needs field. I mean, you can't sell product that have nowhere to play. You can't play without stuff to buy. Same thing, manufacturer needs to support the field and the store without the store being on the front line, and the fields is basically where the player interact with the product.
It's a battleground.
Right
there. I mean, it's silly.
Right.
I mean, it is absolutely, it's silly.
Right.
I mean, I cannot understand it for the life of me, and it's kept me up sometimes.
Right.
And I've talked to KT about it, and it's frustrating to me because that's how it is. Everyone wants to be El Jefe, but what they don't understand is that where community's not big enough to be El Jefe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't...
The boss!
Yeah, you can't be the boss of 5 people and then think you're the boss of 500. It doesn't work like that.
I've been doing this, and most of you guys, Tim especially, you've been doing this for almost 20 years, and I'm very sure you know that the paintball industry are quite divided. Team don't really help each other. You need teams, more teams to compete, but team don't really try and help each other. Players themselves, they try to keep group. There's like a division of groups, and then they have subdivision.
Egos.
To me, I find it really strange. Maybe it's the aggressive nature of the sport, of what we do. That's why we kind of what? Maybe that's the nature of.
I mean, it's okay to be competitive, but when we need to grow this community as a whole first, to allow for that competitiveness to really be effective. I mean, like you said, you should not be saying that you're the best MagFed player or the MagFed team in the West Coast or the East Coast or in Canada or whatever if there's nothing to gauge that. Like, there's no competition that earned you that title. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just should all be playing. That's the most important thing, is just every single one of you guys go play. That's it. Play every weekend. And then from there, we can continue to grow the community. And then once it gets to that point where, hey, you know what? We're ready to start competing. We're ready to take a West Coast team and have them play against an East Coast team. And this West Coast team is all of the players, the best players on the West Coast. All of the East Coast team is made up of all the best East Coast players.
You have regional, you have states, and then you have national. So I think that's where MagFed need to be. I would say in about maybe 2-3 years. I'm personally that's one of my project. If someone has not done it already in about 2-3 years, that would be my project. I have a couple projects on my plate I really want to knock out. I have you guys seen it. I have the G36 marker I'm working on. I have the FN I'm working on. I have a couple of other projects working on, one for each every year for the next couple of years.
Yeah,
it's a lot. So I want to knock those out, and then if someone has not done the MagFed League, that's gonna be my next project, is to create that.
Callista said it right. The Dickmeasuring contest that goes on for this community is outrageous. It is just obnoxious how much that goes on in this community for no reason at all. Like, there's absolutely no reason for it. There's not a lot of people doing it. I mean, you look at the variety that's out there. You got us, Milsig, First Strike, and of course MaxTac, and that's about it. And Tippmann. I mean, you can count on your hand how many options there are in the airsoft world. You need more hands. We need more hands to see the competition that's going there.
You need to know MagFed. You need to know airsoft, how it works and everything. You gotta need to have the degree.
Yeah.
Different battery type, different voltage, different amp, HE, GBB, spring loaded, different magazine.
Callista's is huge. I've seen it.
All right.
Callista wins. Callista wins. But that's what I'm saying. It's silly, and for us, like we've seen a lot of, especially my ambassadors.
Let's give one a shout out. 1 more minute, right? 1 more minute for the auction. 1 minute for auction, and that's it. You guys see the top number there, 1, 2, 3. So you get a minute to do your last number. Kick it in, and before we call it.
All right, that's it.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
Oh man,
that's 40. It's 40 on my watch, not on that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're good anyway.
Right.
All right. So Val posted it up. Number 1, Eric. Congratulations. Make sure you message the Facebook page here. Tell us what color you want, and then ultimately, if you want that air and stock option, that's an extra $50. But we can do that for you. Mari, that's number 2, and then number 3 is Daniel. Make sure you message us, and we'll be there. Yeah, like I said, guys, I just. The more you guys play, the more, this community is going to grow. And that's not just here in California, that's everywhere. And the more participation, the more support that you guys can give your fields, and the more support that us as manufacturers can.
Players and teams.
Yeah, fellow players and teams,
Seriously,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
they
really
need
how you're
help
going to go.
Say they need help, get a loaner, help them with loan them a gun to play. They need parts, help with a part, and you can always contact us and help them out. You don't need to beat down a marker because it doesn't work in anything. Every markers will fail. Ours will fail. Any markers will fail one point or the other. The system using air. and air are sealed with O-rings. O-ring will get eat up, O-ring will chewed, O-ring will get cut, nicks, crack, doesn't matter. Person might use the wrong lubricant and it deteriorate the O-rings. You don't know what's caused the problem. I don't think any system is suck out there. I think every system has strength and weakness, but the point is to help each other get them in the game and stay in the game and figure it out what's wrong with afterward.
Right. Like you said, Tim said it right. Play and bring a friend. That's all it is. I mean, the calendar is packed this year, full of events every single month, and that's the one thing that we're really going to look at is, okay, who is just here to just play? I mean, how many new players can we see come into the community, and then ultimately stay? I mean, to play one day, yeah, that's great, but to play every day or every weekend or as much as you can when you move forward or throughout the year, that's really what we're looking for. We need to have this community grow for lifetimers, not just I liked it, I did it for a little bit and now it's over.
And you want to keep them coming back to play, right? You don't want the new player to be turned off by the equipment,
quality of
the game, the talkback, or the anything. You want them to come back and play and enjoy themselves. It's a sport. It's a pastime thing that you go bowling or you go paintball. You go camping, canoeing. I mean, all these things, all these activities that you can do, but there gotta be a reason for you to come back and do it again. It's cool, Right. He's so finally he sees his time zone MCS. It's magical.
Hydra, Johnny Mackey, we talked about that. We're hoping to look to release that at the end of the year. The pistol, we're still working on that. We're focusing on the Shape Projectile project right now. It's where all our resources are at. But we will update you guys as we move forward. Other than that,
any final questions, fire it away so that way we can get to it until next week, right?
And thank you guys for everything that you do. Not just support of us, me personally, KT personally, but what you guys do for MagFed. Because honestly, I see it every day when I'm on the groups and in the the 468 owners groups and on our page and everything like that. You guys post pictures of your experiences, the games that you guys are playing, all the new players that you're bringing in, and for me personally, that's a big gratification thing that I like to see when a community is growing. When they had a game, last month that had only 25 players, but this month they had 45 players, and you guys send me photos and things like that of your builds and all that. That's really cool to see. I really like to do that, and I'm sorry if I don't always get to share that, but we try to share that share those photos and those videos as much as possible, and because you guys deserve
we miss
that.
it. Just message again. We'll get to it. Yeah, sometimes. You know what? System overload. Information overload nowadays.
Other than that, that's all I got for you guys today.
That's it for me too. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining this wonderful hour with us every Wednesday.
We will see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Take it easy.